Do you hear that, Mustang Nation? It's the holiday season.
Welcome back to the third edition of the Millard North Blueview. My name is Angela Zhang, and here with me is Macy Jaros.
In today's episode, we'll be covering toddler time, diving, events in the library, tardies, and Dia de los Muertos. Millard North welcomes students of all ages, including those under 5 years old. Last month, students of the Education Academy invited children over for a fun morning of snacks, activities, and crafts. Blueview reporters Sophia Phillips and Maddie Tennis went out to learn more about toddler time. Millard North's Education Academy hosted their third annual Toddler Time, an event open to teachers, moms, and their toddlers. This event allows Education Academy students to get some hands-on learning and toddlers to have a fun morning here at Millard North.
Well, the main focus of this class is on child development. So I think the best way for them to get to understand child development is to be able to see it firsthand. And it also gives them an opportunity, since they are going to be future teachers. They developed a lesson plan and looked at their early preschool, early learning standards for the state of Nebraska and developed a lesson plan based on that. So it's all just really hands-on learning opportunities, yeah.
Each person had a different activity, and it was over the developmental skills. So each person had a different subject, and so we looked up activities online, and so they learned how to count to 5. So then we just did, obviously since it's winter, we did a snowman activity, and then we just cut out 200 pieces of paper and then had them glue it on when they got there.
We just looked up crafts, and then we had to make our lesson plans. Our theme was it's called Approaches to Learning, so we were really looking to find ways to help them explore and sensory. So we did smush painting, and it was very easy to prepare.
Some challenges students faced were the variety of ages at the event. Ages ranged from 1 to 4 years old, so the activities had to be suitable for all age groups. To gather a good amount of toddlers, the event was posted on mom groups, emails to staff, and students' own families were informed as well.
So when I worked during toddler time, I worked with a 1-year-old, and it was very hard to see how she was doing and stuff, because she hasn't really developed much yet. Where when I was working with the older toddlers, I could talk to them more, communicate, see how they're doing. And I feel if I worked with younger ones, it'd be really hard to try to ask them to do something.
The hardest part, I think, is probably just getting the toddlers, figuring out how to get the parents and the toddlers in. So we did that a lot of different ways. So getting the space and then really just getting it all set up in time was probably the main challenges, yeah.
The most significant aspect of toddler time is its emphasis on hands-on learning. They faced different challenges with different ages and what activities they could and could not do. Learning to overcome these challenges is vital for students wanting to become a teacher in the future.
One of the biggest goals for the Education Academy is getting time with actual students, getting them into the schools, getting them to actually interact with kids and toddlers and preschoolers. I think all of that is kind of just what we do as teachers in the first place, so that's one of our main goals.
I wanted to be a teacher for as long as I can remember, and I remember talking to Bear about it a long time ago, saying that this was an opportunity I had, so I just immediately wanted to do it.
This has been Maddie Tennis and Sophia Phillips with the Millard North Blueview. Every sport has its challenges. For the diving team, every dive is represented by dedication and hardships. Blueview reporters Shriyat Maduri and myself went out to learn more about the diving team and the challenges they may have faced.
When you're part of a team, you've got a whole squad behind you. But for seniors Rania Pipinos and Emily Austin, their sport is a different story. As a team of just 2 people, they face the pressure alone and learn how to carry it together.
It's a little bit of pressure, honestly. It's difficult because we need to make up a lot of our points in order to get into state and stuff like that. It's obviously an individual sport, but in order to get the trophy, usually we're a pole vault, and we have a few more divers, 10 or 12. But this year it's just us 2, and we need to make up a lot of points.
Since there's only 2 of us and we don't have any boys, it's just us competing against each other. It's just kind of hard to have all that pressure on us, but also not a lot of people know about the sport, so it's more swimming, so it's not super scary.
For some divers, the challenges of pressure go far beyond the board. For Austin, the mental battles of diving came after an even harder fight, her journey through cancer.
Emily has been through a lot, and like just talking to her, you wouldn't even know just how good-spirited she is and just her attitude, and she's a great example not only for the rest of the program but just everybody in general. Like, she is amazing.
Through my cancer journey, I've realized to not take things for granted and work towards what you want, and that baby steps are still steps in the right direction, and it doesn't always matter if you're having a bad day because you'll always get back to where you are trying to go.
They were friends long before stepping on the diving board. After years of hardships and hours spent training together, their bond has only grown stronger. As seniors, they now look forward to completing their final season on the dive team side by side.
We've known each other for the past 4 years. We've always been really supportive of each other and our careers. We've also just always been by each other's side. We're big foodies, so we love going out to eat together, and even during competitions, we'll be snacking all the time.
Me and Rainy have been friends since before we started diving, and I think our bond has just grown closer, especially in the past years with being the only girls on the dive team to now being the only ones on the dive team at all. We definitely push each other and motivate each other when we're not motivated to go to practice or just do other high school things, but it's nice to have a good friend on the team.
This has been Macy Jaros and Shriyat Maduri with the Millard North Blueview.
During the semester, you've probably been to the library to study, catch up on homework, and play games.
Is that right?
Blueview reporter Salman Mousset went to find out.
In the library, activities, games, and fun weekly events can be found. All this began with just one puzzle.
I think it's definitely I think puzzles was our first thing. I think Miss Kelly was really interested in we should have the activities for students to do. I'm going to start bringing in puzzles, and the puzzles were huge success, and we're wow, kids really like doing the puzzles. And
since then, more games have been added within the library.
I mean, one thing we would always love is more puzzles, more board games. I mean, Clue has become very popular in here among certain groups. People love playing Clue, but any other board games we can get just gives more life to the library, just having more stuff to do.
The activities in the library vary depending on the semester and the season.
It changes every semester. It just depends on our group of seniors that come in, but we also get pretty busy during lunch. We get pretty busy after school. We even started a pickleball club that kids can come in and practice on Monday if they'd like.
Students can come in after studying or during their free time to come play some games with each other.
I will do my work at the tables, but I always enjoy the sounds of other people playing games and socializing, because it's fun to know that in an environment like school where everybody says that they're miserable and classes suck, I can always come to the library and see everybody laughing and enjoying themselves. So that's pretty cool.
The most intense game I've ever had.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Connect 4. I just lost, so I hate it. If I would have won, that would probably been my favorite.
With the phone policy in place, this is a good way for students to be more engaging and interactive with one another.
I think ever since we kind of started restricting phone usage in here, we've had a lot more of a lively environment because of these activities have encouraged students to come in despite still wanting to use their phones. I think they've found something else to do instead, which I think has created a really positive environment.
This has been Salman Mousset with the Millard North Blueview.
Tardies add up faster than most students realize, costing them privileges in the long run. Blueview reporters Sahana Kumar and myself remind everyone why to show up on time. Being on time builds responsibility and opens doors to opportunities. The school offers real incentives too. Juniors in good standing can leave during lunch on Fridays, and students with 0 tardies have the ability to earn free reserve parking. More than 12 tardies means losing these privileges. You may have been to celebrations for your school's Halloween or Valentine's Day events, but what about Dia de los Muertos? Blueview reporter Simon Damro went to find out more how the Spanish Honor Society brings tradition to Millard North.
Halloween and Valentine's Day parties are a staple of school life, but what about Day of the Dead parties? Millard North's SHH has brought such celebrations to our school.
SHH stands for Sociedad Honoraria Hispanica, and it's just like a Spanish honor society is what it is. So we take honors Spanish students from like junior and seniors, and we work with them, and we do volunteer hours, and we just like get them more cultured with like Spanish society and Spanish culture.
Creating the party requires planning, research, and teamwork.
It's something that we've done for a lot of years. It's been it's probably the most popular event that we do because it's really fun, and a lot of people have like some sort of recollection of it via either movies like Coco or The Book of Life. But it takes a lot of work to set it up. It usually takes a period or two just to get all the areas set up. We have a lot of stations. There were a number of planning sessions that we had for students, and we had 21 of our volunteers from SHH work on this particular event.
Yeah, everyone does like kind of research on their own for like different parts. Like obviously they reused some of the stuff from last year. Our teacher, Miss Jensen, is like very familiar with the culture. So we try to bring in a little bit of everything. We learn about it in class too, so the students kind of generate ideas from there.
The celebration had many fun and unique events, and many opportunities to learn about Hispanic culture.
I was doing bingo, so everyone who was doing bingo with me was having like a lot of fun with it, and I got to give everyone like suckers and stuff, and yeah, I would say bingo. Just I'm biased, but it was my event, so.
I would say maybe Oka was my favorite event that we did. Oka is kind of like a board game, but like with like human-sized tokens that walk around the board, and then it's almost like, have you ever seen Double Dare on Nickelodeon? There are like different challenges that you have to do, and either physical challenges or like tongue twisters and things like that, and that was a lot of fun. We invite people to at the ofrenda, which is like kind of an altar that we had at the Day of the Dead party. We had a place where people could write notes to those that they've loved. In the past, we've done ofrendas where we've had actually people bring pictures of people that they love that have passed on. And so each year, I remember my grandmother, who means a lot to me, my mother-in-law who passed on, and it's just a way to kind of honor them, although not in the traditional way of that. I don't believe they actually come back on that day of the year.
I, for one, enjoyed tasting the traditional pan de muerto. This has been Simon Damrow with the Blue View.
And that's a wrap for this month's edition of the Miller North Blue View.
Thanks for tuning in with us, Mustangs. We hope to be back with more stories and hopefully fewer tardies. Have a great afternoon.